We have another call waiting. Hello.
Could I
Go ahead. What's your question, please?
My question concerns, you blame it on the white man on how we came over and take your land. I don't understand when the Japanese are coming over and they're buying it, and that's okay. I don't see what this is about the Howleys coming over. You come over to our country and buy up our land too. It works both ways. I don't see how you can have this rallies and everything against the white man. This is America,
Let me just say something to this call. This is not America. This is Polynesia. Our country was stolen. That's one of your problems. You're ignorant, woefully ignorant. I am very active against Japanese ownership of our land. I have testified repeatedly at various commissions and at the legislature in opposition to any foreigner owning Hawaiian land. But you, caller, need to learn about Hawaiian history and about where you are. And that attitude that you have is the same attitude that Joey Carter has. You think you are in America. You are not in America. You are in a colony that is in Polynesia that was forcibly taken, just as, I might add, all of Eastern Europe was forcibly taken by the Soviet Union, which Americans think is a very, very bad place. The bad, bad Soviet Union. Well, the bad, bad United States of America took Puerto Rico, it took Alaska, it stole Indian land, it took Hawaii, it took Guam, it took Micronesia, Palau, and you had better learn that history because you are the recipient of an imperialist tradition. And you had better learn that history because you are the recipient of an imperialist tradition. It took Hawaii, it took Guam, it took Micronesia, Palau, and you had better learn that history because you are the recipient of an imperialist tradition. You had better learn that history because you are the recipient of an imperialist tradition.
What is an imperialist tradition, huh? First, let's find out what American imperialism is, okay? So American imperialism is the economic, military, and cultural philosophy that the United States affects and controls other countries. Such influence is often closely associated with expansion into foreign territories. The concept of an American empire was first popularized during the presidency of James K. Polk, who led the United States into the Mexican-American War of 1846. So if you don't know, a good majority of western part of America was actually Mexico. California, Texas, New Mexico, all of these lands were taken during certain wars, and during this war was the annexation of California and the other western territories via the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the Gadsden Purchase. Okay. Imperialism. Thomas Jefferson in 1790s awaited the fall of the Spanish Empire until our population can be sufficiently advanced to gain it from them piece by piece. In turn, historian Sidney Lance noted that the urge for expansion and the expense of other people. The urge for expansion at the expense of other peoples goes back to the beginning of the United States itself. So from the beginning, it's all about expansion at the cost of other people and their cultures. Yale historian Paul Kennedy put in, from the time the first settlers arrived in Virginia from England and started moving westward, this was an imperial nation, a conquering nation. And if you understand from the Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving was actually these first settlers. They were starving and they had cut an agreement out with the natives and they were being taught how to farm. So they made this ceremony, and what happened was during this ceremony they poisoned all the drinks except for theirs. Everyone died. That was the first Thanksgiving. So that ever since then they've just been conquering, expanding. In 2008 address to Boston University, Noam Chomsky stated that talking about American imperialism is rather like talking about triangles, detailing George Washington's description of the early United States as an infant empire. Benjamin Franklin's writing that the prince that acquires new territory moves the natives to give his own people room may be properly called father of his nation, and Thomas Jefferson's statement that the United States must be viewed as the nest from which all America, North and South, is to be peopled. Chomsky stated that the United States is the one country that exists, as far as I know, and ever has, that was founded as an empire explicitly. So it goes into that. Let's scroll down. Okay. Views of American imperialism. Alright. Journalist Ashley Smith divides theories of the U.S. imperialism into 5 broad categories: liberal theories, social democratic theories,
You ready, Daddy?
Leninist theories.
You ready, Daddy?
Yeah, 1 second.
And my mouse?
Liberal theories, social democratic theories, Leninist theories, theories of super imperialism, and the heart and negrity theories. What is that? There's also a conservative anti-interventionist view as expressed by American journalist John T. Flynn. The enemy aggressor is always pursuing a course of larceny, murder, raping, and barbarism. We are always moving forward with high mission, a destiny imposed by the deity to regenerate our victims, while incidentally capturing their markets. They're always talking about their God and commerce, because their God is the God of commerce. To civilize savage and senile and paranoid people. Oh, these savages and senile and paranoid. Yet they created all this technology. We have soups, we have deodorant, we have soaps, we have all this because of them. They're savages because they built all these pyramids, they built all these temples and these aqueducts, and they had all these types of agriculture and farming, ocean and land. They were just so amazing that they were savages. And they were such a paranoid people that they let us come on their land and make a foothold, because they were just so paranoid that they just let us have a little piece of land for ourselves, because they were so paranoid. They were so paranoid that they made treaties after treaties with us, even though we broke them. They were so paranoid, while blundering accidentally into their oil wells. A social democratic theory says the imperialistic U.S. policies are the products of excessive influence of certain sectors of U.S. business and government. The arms and industry in alliance with military and political bureaucracies, and sometimes other industries such as oil and finance, a combination often referred to as a military-industrial complex. Now we understand this, right? You can read the whole thing and be like, bureaucracies, blah 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 blah. But we understand, plain and simple, military-industrial complex. They got their hands in everything. A lot of the things that we face, like the diseases, the poisoning that's going on, all stem from the military-industrial complexes. The weapons, the mass erosion, the mass money that is missing. They had that $9 billion missing, and the black ops projects that get all of this funding. So we understand the military-industrial complex has a strong grip on the economic foundation of this country, and the future, the direction of this country. The complex is said to benefit from war profiteering and looting of natural resources. Now we understand about war profiteering. Like in Europe, before they used to set up wars between each other just so that they could profit off of it. They could extort their people with higher taxes. It was always profitable to go to war. And looting of natural resources, we understand this very well because all our lands that we have been on have been looted. My father's land in America, my mother's land in Hawaii, we had the most richest sandalwood lands, and they're all gone now. So we understand about natural resource looting, often at the expense of public interest. Like today in Hawaii, 85% of the water is taken for corporate use and profit, and now they're telling us conserve water, and then the little water we do have, they're poisoning it now. So we understand the looting of natural resources and the expense at the public's interest, to the public's interest. The proposed solution is typically unceasing popular, vigilant in order to apply counter pressure. Johnson holds a version of this view. Okay, so we understand that. So let's go to empire. Following the invasion of Afghanistan in 2001, the idea of American imperialism was re-examined. In 2001, jubilant Marines hoisted an American flag over Kandahar, and in the stage display referred to the moment as a third after those on San Juan Hill and Iwo Jima. All moments, writes Neil Smith, express U.S. global